Hello and welcome to Excia. And here I am with my truly great friend, Magda Esola. How are you, Magda?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Roland.
Well, thank you very, very much for being here. I've known you a long, long time, and I know that my audience is going to get so much out of what you say today. We're probably going to laugh with you a little bit. Normally, I cry when you talk about your background, so I know that sounds very pathetic for a grown man to admit that, but I challenge my audience. You will be crying by the end of this podcast, so strap yourself in. Magda has a really beautiful story of how she came to the United States and has done so well, and I really think it's going to inspire all of you to just go out and do well. Plus, we're going to learn from you. You've got some great tips for us. You've always done well in new home sales construction, but you sort of straddle the builder world, I mean, the realtor world very well. And so you've written a new book, which we'll get into, and it's got tips for realtors, and you're going to share some tips for builders, I believe, and builder salespeople, how to do better with realtors. Does that sound about right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time. There's a lot to cover here. So let me read your bio. You sent it over. I want to respectfully read it so people can understand the gravitas of this great lady that we are chatting with. Magda Esola. Am I saying your last name right, by the way?
You are. You
Okay.
are.
Twice in a row. Is a nationally recognized real estate leader, best-selling author, speaker, and entrepreneur, all of which I know to be true. Magda is the founder and CEO of the Magda Esola Group, a real estate and consulting firm where she works with clients, developers, and real estate professionals to create strategic opportunities in today's market. With more than 2 decades in the industry, Magda has sold more than 1,100 homes. That's all you personally, right? That's not
Yes.
just you
That's not a
managing,
tip.
right?
That
Yeah,
is individual sales. Yeah.
yeah, you must be very tired. And generated over $500 million in real estate sales, and that's in real numbers, not adjusted. Just so you know, that's a very real number. I've known Magda a long time, and she really walks the walk, and instead of just talking the talk. Specializing in new construction and luxury homes. Originally from Nicaragua, Magda came to the United States in pursuit of opportunity and has built a career dedicated to expanding access to home ownership and leadership within the Latino community. So I'd love you to expand upon that soon as well. You previously served as president of NAREP. What does NAREP stand for, please?
National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals.
There we go, in Charlotte, and now sits on the NAREP National Board of Directors. I've seen you on social media at those meetings. I wasn't exactly sure what it was. Continuing to advocate for Latino wealth building and leadership development across the country. See, I'm already getting teary-eyed, so I knew it would happen. Magda was also recently installed as president of United Latinas Charlotte chapter, where she is committed to empowering and elevating Latina leaders across the region. Amazing work. Deeply committed to philanthropy, she participates in global initiatives. I'm just realizing how hard to read your you couldn't make it easy, could you? Philanthropy, that's a hard one to say. She participates in global initiatives that help build schools. Let me say it slower. You help build schools and empower communities around the world. All right.
Yes.
Magda is known for your authenticity, your passion for service, and belief that tienes, could you say that for me? Tienes
Tienes que creértela.
which stands for?
You have to believe in yourself.
There we go. I love it. All right. So without any further ado, let's meet my great friend and success in life here, Magda. All right. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for that introduction, Roland.
Well, you're welcome. Well, you wrote it. I had to read it correctly. So there we go. So, so could you, for the sake of the audience, tell us how you got here and all that kind of stuff, your origin story, and then your
Absolutely.
background? And yeah, I'd love to listen and learn.
Thank you so much. So many people have heard this story, but I hope that a few of you haven't heard it, so it's new for you. I
Yes.
came to this country at age 18. At the time, it was for two reasons, and two reasons only. One was for safety. I come from Nicaragua. At the time that I left the country, it was we were having internal wars,
All right.
and
I
my
remember
mother
that. Yeah.
wanted. Yes, that was back in the 80s,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my
It
mother
was very
didn't want.
dangerous.
Yeah, it was, and my mother didn't want us. She's at the time 38 years old, and we are
Oh,
six kids, and she didn't
wow.
want my brothers to go to the war. So
Right.
that's truly the reason that we left the country, number one. And the reason number two
Yeah.
was for financial freedom and what
Yeah.
we call, as many of us immigrants, the American dream,
Hmm.
the pursuit of American dream. Unfortunately, back then it was very difficult to find and get the American visa. So
Right.
we have no option but to come through the Rio Grande. And I'm gonna give you the cliff note because it's truly
Sure.
like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
5 hour explanation how we got
No,
here.
yeah.
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 So we came through the Rio Grande, and this is when I was 18 years old, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, not knowing where we were coming, what we were coming here, like nothing really that
Right.
other than hope, and that we know that being in this country, we can make it.
Right.
And one thing that I think is important for people to know how, because I'm going to go back to this, how I got where I was in new construction, working for
Yeah.
many builders, top three
Yeah.
builders in the country, and then a regional builder, and then a mom and pop builder. So I have a 360 view of every single builder uh,
Right.
in the USA.
Yeah.
And when we were crossing the river, my mom, my older brother, got into a panic attack. He's 19 years old, a
Oh,
teenager.
wow.
And
Right.
my mom shook his shoulder and told him, "There is no time to be afraid. We're
Oh,
almost home." And
oh,
that stayed right in my head and in my
right.
heart, my whole
Right.
life, still today.
Right. There's
I
no
always
time to be
tell that
afraid.
story to my
Yeah.
salespeople or
Yeah.
when I'm speaking, because there is really what paralyzes people is fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
It does.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
when you want to make the phone call, when you want to make the connection, when you want to go for the employment or go for whatever, people get paralyzed for fear. So my mom taught me that, and you know, people ask if I am afraid of doing things, and
Right.
they said you're very confident, but I really believe is not that. I believe is the doing the things, even being afraid, because I do get afraid. I'm a human
Yeah.
being.
Who doesn't? Yeah. Yeah.
So it's doing the things that you want to do that gets you closer to your goal, even
Sure.
when you are afraid. So that to me is called courage.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
Roland,
No.
that's in a nutshell how we got here. It's a
Sure.
long story before that.
Right. Oh, I appreciate that. No, it's an amazing story. And then I believe you all lived together for many
Yes,
years and you saved money for your first home.
yes,
And
that's right.
you bought
So
a home and that sort of changed your thinking, I think. And then tell us how you got into real estate, if you would. And I'd
yes,
like to talk about how we first met too, because again, it all relates to your story and your courage and your belief in yourself, which hopefully
absolutely.
will inspire somebody driving around listening to this podcast or
Yes. So
watching it.
3 years after we moved to the USA, we landed in New Jersey.
Okay.
We decided to purchase a home.
Hmm.
It was my six siblings and my mom, seven people, making
Amazing.
the minimum wage at the time $3 or $4.
Oh
So
yeah.
imagine
What
seven
were you
people.
doing for work? What kind of work were you
I
doing?
was working in a restaurant.
Okay.
Yes, I was working in a
Minimum wage.
restaurant, a minimum wage, and we were between the seven of us making about $30. The seven of
Mhm.
us an
Mm,
hour.
almost impossible to make that little.
Imagine that.
Incredible. Right.
Yes. So Roland, 3 years after we came to the United States, we end up purchasing a home because we were living in a two-bedroom apartment, and my
Right.
mom said
Right.
there is
Yeah.
no reason. We need to save some money and
Right.
be able to buy a house. So, like I was saying before, we were making combined seven people $28 an hour.
Oh
Like
my God.
they were $3 to $4 per hour. Each one of
Right.
us were
Right.
making.
It's hard to
So we
believe. Yeah.
saved, yeah, we saved every penny we could. We like I know that for sure. Like I have helped people like that here in North
Yeah.
Carolina. How it
Yeah.
feels, I know that feeling. So
Right.
we
No, I
saved,
understand.
we bought the house for $165,000 in Bergen County, New Jersey, and then we end up selling that house, Roland, 5 years later for $500,000.
Well, there we go. Wow. So you had
Half a million
immediate
dollars.
wealth. Right.
Yes,
Good for you.
we did well, and what we end up doing is everybody. My mom gave us money. All of us got money, and we end up buying each one of us a home. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
where the interest in real estate started. But I
Okay.
didn't act on it until like 10 years later, Um, I am now married and I have three children. And I said, okay, it's time for me to be home. So I started in real estate thinking that I was going to have more time for myself.
Right. That
And
was in general real estate. Yeah.
that's
Fair
right.
enough.
So I started in general real estate, and it was only 1 year.
Right.
I ended up moving from New Jersey to North Carolina, and that's how my career in
Yeah.
new construction started. And that's when I met you and
Wow. No, I
Bob
remember.
Schultz.
Yes.
That was back in, I would say 2007.
Yeah. It was just before the Great Recession, I think,
Yes,
when you
it
came
was
down. Yeah.
right before. So I entered the new construction world with Lennar Homes, not knowing
Right.
what I was doing. Truly, my manager Lynn Goodman, incredible human being, a great mentor
Hmm.
of mine, still
Yeah.
today,
I remember. Yeah.
gave me the opportunity. But I realized very quickly that I didn't know what I was doing. That it was
Right.
totally different. Even though I was rookie of the year in resale, in resale as a part timer, I ended up selling like $15 million back in
Oh,
2008.
wow.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that. So you had a talent for it immediately. So that's
yeah,
great.
but
That's the big
I
key.
realized very quickly in new construction that it was
Right.
different.
Right.
And the first thing I did, I Google at the time. Google was very new. I Google
Yeah.
new home sales construction best trainers in the world.
Wow.
And you guys were on top, Bob Schultz and,
Yeah. Bob
and
Schultz. I mean,
Roland
yeah, mainly Bob though. He
Roth.
was very big. Yeah.
Yes. So I end up clicking on your website, and that's how we met back in Florida. And
Right.
from
And,
that
and
time, I
but didn't something happen where the program was not cheap. It was quite expensive in those dollars. I think it was maybe $1,500
yes,
for the 3-day boot camp that we had. And you didn't quite have the money or something.
yes,
Didn't you negotiate with Bob, or he give
yes,
you a
I did.
deal or something just to get you down there? I seem to recall.
Yes, I did. I negotiated. He gave me grace because I was paying out of pocket. At the
Right.
time, my manager said, you can have the time, but the company's not
Because
paying.
normally builders would pay for their sale. We had whole teams. We had 10, 20 salespeople from different builders would come all together and the builders would pay. But you were paying your own airfare, hotel, and
Everything.
training. So he said, pay us later or something out of your first
Yes,
commission or
he
something
gave me
like
a very
that.
good price actually, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the whole thing was like $2,500 that I didn't have because
Right.
I
Wow.
was brand new in North Carolina
Right.
with a brand new family, a brand new house, so much debt,
But you
and
had belief in yourself and you went to get trained. It was quite amazing. I remember you standing up in that boot camp, in that training and talking about yourself. And you came back next year, I think, or the year after, and
yes,
you'd already been successful. And it wasn't like it was easy, you know, '08 happened and all that kind
yes.
of stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
in '08, I was working for the same builder, end up selling, I believe, around $10 million in production, which at the time was really good in the year of the recession.
Yes,
So
in the
we
recession, people weren't buying anything. So I don't know how you did anything at all. So it was
so
amazing.
Roland, at that time we were selling 4 times the same home to different buyers.
Oh, was that, yes, yeah.
Yes,
It wouldn't go through the rates. Well, not the rates, but
yes.
the fear. Yeah. Well, fair
But
enough. Well, good.
I really believe that the training that I had, I always said that the first training, I have many trainings after you guys,
Oh, did
after
you?
you,
Okay.
but I do believe,
Good.
Roland, that the training, um, it is very crucial for people to learn
Right.
the what they're doing, because if
Yeah.
you don't, you're not gonna make it.
No, it gives you a lot of confidence. And the training we have is very foundational, as a step by step. But there's a lot
Yes,
of really great trainers out there that will give you confidence in all areas. So, but it just shows it does help to accelerate your career to go seek training and invest in yourself. Tell us then, fast forward to that builder experience you had where you're on site and you know where I'm going. You had some huge years with some very big checks. And I'd love
yes,
the audience to hear about the checks you got and the actual veracity of that. It's amazing to me. It really is. So I'd love to hear about
yes,
it.
absolutely. So fast forward, I have worked, like I said, for the first three national builders. Then a regional builder come into town, Fielding Homes, and
A regional builder in Charlotte. Is
yes,
it?
brand new
Yeah.
builder in Charlotte. Fielding Homes was created by Crescent Communities, and
Oh,
I
I
was
see.
truly blessed to be given the opportunity to be the first salesperson for them, to help them
Okay.
take this company uh, truly public. And
Right.
so I
Oh, I
was the
see.
first person. Now, keep in mind, I've been in the business now about 10 years. By the
Okay.
time they hire me, I have
Right.
already broken I was at the time making already like 400, $500,000
Oh,
when
you
they
were?
hired me.
Okay.
So I
So,
was making already a huge amount of money because I do
yeah.
believe this. For the people that are in new home sales, they know this. This is not a secret.
Right.
For in order for you to make this tremendous amount of money and help so many families, you have to have what I call the perfect storm. You have to be in the right time frame, in the right community, right pricing, right product, and right salesperson. If you have
Right.
all that, magic happen. Truly,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I was
I agree.
lucky, what I call luck, because but luck is preparation meeting um opportunity. That's
Opportunity.
luck,
Right.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And you'd worked
So
hard for that opportunity because, yeah, you put your 10,000 hours plus in it,
that's
of
right.
course. Yeah.
That's And you can see behind me the 7 main awards that I have. I don't think anyone in Charlotte, North Carolina, have more or this kind of seven
That's
main
amazing.
awards.
Well, good. But the awards are fantastic. I was going to ask you what they were. So seven names, congratulations. But also, you were working with this builder, and you're already doing very well. You said you're 500,000 a year, going from minimum wage, which I can't believe it was so low back then. In the
Yeah,
when
four
you it was
dollars
like,
in the
so from
early
$4
90s.
from $4 an hour to 400,000 a year. That's
But that's
quite a
before fielding. Before
right.
fielding,
And then you work for who was it? PRB or Ryan or one of those that you
no.
had.
So fielding homes. When
Okay.
I got into fielding homes,
Oh,
I was
Fielding
given
Homes.
this fielding homes. Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yes, no worries. So I was given this neighborhood where there were supposed to be 4 salespeople. Honestly, the production that we had there, the amount of traffic that
Right.
we had,
Right.
mind you, this is 2016 to 2022.
Is that when it was? Okay.
700 homes,
Wow.
700 homes community. It was given just to me, and I was working 7 days a week, almost 10 to 12 hours a day, daily
But
for
you didn't
seven.
want to share it with anybody. You want to keep it all to yourself. And
No,
yeah.
I was keeping it all for myself, but I said, you know what? The moment I feel that the customer service or the customer
Sure.
experience start declining, I have to ask for help because
Right.
I
So
will
you were
never.
the only salesperson for the 700 homes?
Yes,
Just one? Oh, wow.
one person.
That's
And
wow.
the reason they kept me there was for outstanding customer service relationships. So my
Okay.
sales, by the time I got there, Roland, I have established relationship with the real estate community. So
Okay.
I have what I call my VIP realtors,
Sure.
that I have one realtor alone, one that used to sell 20 to 25 houses with me per year.
Perfect. Oh, per year. Amazing.
Per year. So if
Shout out
you,
to that realtor. Who's that realtor? Is that person still around?
yes, Debbie Hooker and her team, they
Debbie
have,
Hooker.
yep, Debbie
We
Hooker and
hooked
her team.
another one for you.
Yes,
25 years. That's amazing. Yeah. So that's, by the way, people watching, salespeople watching, that's why you go and you visit realtors. You don't wait for them to come to you. You do
that's right.
breakfast, you go meet and greet, and then you have them come to your model, and you get one Debbie Hooker out there, and all of a sudden you're doing 25 sales a year with one person. It's extraordinarily good fortune. I had a fellow called Steve Feldman that I did 20, just over 20 sales, but that was in 3 years. I what 24 in 1 year is just ridiculous. But that came about because you worked your realtor friendships, right? Your VIP list. It wasn't
That's,
accidental. It was intentional.
mhm. You
Yeah,
have to
sorry.
go ahead. You
No,
just
no,
have
no.
to
I'm
have
interrupting.
your database of realtor. For me, was
Right.
the real estate agents. Now
Yes. Okay.
you have to establish relationships, right? I had a morning session this today talking to a builder, and I said you cannot just go and say
Right.
this is what I need. You got to
Right.
offer something of value
Hmm. Right.
first, and then establish relationships. I always said if you want to make more sales, you got to make more friends first.
Yes, yeah, and most people, it's a very, I mean, in life we talk about I would like to have more friends. Well, are you a good friend first? You have to be a good friend to get friendships, and that takes effort sometimes, sacrifice and commitment when you don't want to do it. With realtors, they're smart enough to know that, hey, is this Magda going to be around next week, or just you want business today? And
That's
you
right.
proved that you were around. I learned that when I was working on site, that I'd go back every month to the same 12 offices. I would drop off my flyers and my donuts, and back when people were eating donuts and the healthy things. Now they don't touch them, but but it took 3 or 4 months of doing that before I started to get any results whatsoever. And then after a couple of years, I had my Steve Feldman that I had, 20 plus sales with, but it took a while to get to that. So that is the message. Like everything, you have to work it. You can't expect, to just always be lucky and get overnight success. So sorry to keep jumping in,
Yeah,
but we've lived in
absolutely.
similar veins. Can you get to the part that where you turn 400,000 to even a bigger amount? Because there are some very successful salespeople who watch this go, yeah, I've had good years and so forth. But then what happened when what year was it when you got that big check that I want you to
So
tell us how much it was? I don't want
so
to spoil it.
if you recall, we hit COVID. What a glorious years
Oh,
those
this
were
was a
for me.
post-COVID thing. Okay.
Yes, COVID 2020, 2020,
Did you wait a
2021.
minute? Play the tape back. You see what a glorious thing COVID was? Is that what you just said?
Yeah,
All right, so you heard it from Magda. I didn't say for business is what she
for
meant.
business,
We had
for
a
business.
very crappy year or year and a half, whatever the heck it was, in with our masks on and not communicating. But then when we came out of it, the wheels came off the bus in terms of demand, right?
That's right.
So
So
then,
the demand came, which wasn't
yes,
expected. I
right.
had a backlog of 96 houses under contract at one point,
Wow, 96 at once.
96
Right,
homes. With that
right.
being said, that turned into a $62 million a year. And
62 million.
yes, and then
Wow.
the next that's in sales. I think I closed 59 and a half, close to
So
60
they
million.
actually closed, but some people, that I work with, they had a big backlog. They just couldn't close them because
Yes,
of all the delays and all that kind of stuff. And then
yes.
rates changed and they get money back. So you actually
So
closed almost 60 million. Yep.
yeah, that was 2020. So I
Right.
got to $975,000 income that
There we go.
year.
Let's stop the clock. 970,000 in 1 year in commissions that you actually received.
Yes,
So I want to dangle this carrot out there to people, salespeople. I'm no guarantees you'll make that much, And as Magda said, there's a perfect storm that happened where they didn't partner with anybody because you were doing such a great job. But look at what you can accomplish when you put your heart and mind to
and
something
then the following
amazing.
year,
Then,
Roman, in 2021, I break the $1.1 million in income.
and you have that check somewhere, don't you? Well, it
Yes.
wouldn't be one check. Well, you have
So
your
my biggest
1099 or
check that I
yeah.
ever done in my real estate career in 20 years in new home sales in one paycheck, 2 week pay period was $159,000.
My gosh, that's incredible. So,
But
and
also,
I hope nobody's listening that's getting turned off because we're being direct, talking about money and what we made. But you've got to. The reason we're doing it is have a look at the success story of Magda that came with nothing, worked so hard, dedicated herself to making a career, got better by training, and made over $1 million in 1 year in commissions, which is very rare. I've not heard of too many salespeople getting even close to that. So it's amazing. And hopefully it'll inspire us. Go, oh my gosh,
yes,
you really can accomplish amazing things. So there we
thank
go.
you.
What did it
Absolutely.
feel like to have $2 million, more than $2 million in income in 2 years? What was that like?
Well, it was very humbling because
Yes,
one thing that I have to tell you, I never forgot where I come from. And that's how I got into the philanthropic work.
I was going
Because
to say that
you
probably,
question
yeah,
yourself, like, okay, I make all this money and now what do I do with it?
right, right.
And so I decided to start building schools in Africa
Oh,
and traveling to help others that couldn't help themselves. So the
oh,
money went into good hands and
yeah,
it was well invested. What I call it went to get my emotional paychecks. Because at
yeah,
the end of the day, Roland, we all come here to make a change, in my opinion, in the world.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
it's beautiful to make money and what money does for others as well as
right.
for you and your family.
Yes,
But
amen.
it gets to a point that you ask yourself, we have a finite life. And you ask yourself, okay, what do I want to do? I know where I come
Right,
from. It's a
right,
long story, the Magda story. Didn't know the language, didn't know the culture, didn't know, anything. And
right.
truly, a lot of my American friends, they said, Magda, you are truly the embodiment of the American dream.
You
You
are.
are
You
the
really are. Yeah,
God
I
riches
think so.
story.
Yeah,
But that is only possible in the United States of America.
it's
Every
true.
single day, and
Yes,
you can relate, Roland. You are
I can.
from
Yeah, from
England.
London. Yeah,
Yes.
I.
So
Yeah,
when you are not from the United States of America, you realize how lucky people
yeah,
are to wake up in this country that
yeah.
how messed up it is in some people's mind is still have the
Right.
freedom to
Right.
do what you want with your life every
Very
single
good.
day.
Yeah.
You wake
Exactly.
up
Oh,
with an option to do, and if you are in
yep.
the new home sales world,
Right.
you are you're one of that 1% of people in the United States that can do so
Right.
much
Right.
with your life and have that opportunity to
Yeah.
succeed. It's just
Yeah. I
it's
totally
just
agree. When you grow, I mean, I didn't. I mean, in England, I didn't grow up particularly poor or anything like that. But very much in England, it's very much if you go to the right schools and you have the right connections, you might get ahead. But everybody else probably doesn't get ahead that much. And so there's definitely sort of more of a class structure there that I don't think I would have got away from necessarily. And so here, the opportunity to just do what you want and work hard and make a great livelihood and sort of not reinvent yourself in a lying kind of way, but reinvent who you want to be and go do it. And if it's not work, if you don't like your surroundings, change your surroundings. If you don't like your job, change your job. If you don't like what's going on, make it happen for yourself. No one else is responsible for your life except for you, and you're an embodiment of that. You just got up every day and pulled yourself up by your shoe straps. Is that the expression? I don't know what a shoe strap even is. But anyway, pulled yourself up by your socks and you've made it happen. So it's extraordinary. And now you've had the blessing to give back to people. So tell me about the schools like that you built in Africa. What
yes,
is there a charity or how do you implement that? And then let's get into some tips for realtors for sure, for how to deal with
absolutely,
realtors. Yeah. Don't want to run out
absolutely.
of time.
So the yeah. I work with an organization named Built On, and it is a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
Built
Built
on,
on.
built
Okay.
on. Mhm.
We'll put that in the info. Okay. Built on.
Absolutely. And people donate to us money to be able to go build schools there. The
Oh,
expenses from flying, lodging, all that is on me or every volunteer. But
oh,
and they
nice.
have to raise anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 per school per person to go to different countries in Africa. So last year I was in Malawi. That was a 36-hour flight.
Oh,
Three.
wow. Where is that? West Africa, Malawi?
Yes,
Is that? Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it
Yeah.
is. And we went there, and it was very humbling. Malawi is the sixth poorest country in the world.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes. So if you think here in the USA or out of the country, you have seen poverty, you haven't seen poverty until you go there.
No, I couldn't
It's,
imagine. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
incredible,
That's
and it's so
incredible.
humbling to be able to actually build the schools. Roland, we are
Yeah.
physically building the schools.
Are you? Oh, nice.
Yes, and
So,
it also brings some hope to those kids.
yeah,
But
yeah.
so we have talks with them, with the families. We stay with the families, and it's a really moving time to be with
I
them.
would
And
imagine.
it
Yeah.
changes you. It really changes you when you come back to the
Oh,
States.
I gotta go do missions trips. So many of my
Absolutely,
friends have gone on trips, and my family would like to do it. We anyway. So, but
yeah,
let's keep it focused on you. So, tell me about the schools. How big? How many children? How many times
sure.
have you gone
So
and built
I
schools?
the year before I went to Senegal. So I travel once a year. Those schools go on building. We have built over 3,000 schools.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, they have been, but
Wow.
I only go once a year because it takes about 2 weeks of your time, as
Yeah,
well
yeah.
as a financial contribution. You
Sure,
know,
sure.
so
3,000 schools is incredible. What kind of size schools are we talking? Do you know?
so the schools are two classrooms. The
Okay,
size of the schools is for two classrooms,
I see.
about the size of two classrooms, and they are completely equipped with the furniture and everything that
Oh,
the teachers will need because these kids
right,
they sit on the ground.
right,
That's
right. I
what the
wonder if it's one
teachers.
of the few places to get running water and fresh
Yes,
food and all that kind of stuff, and can at
that's
least
right.
have that to go to as well as getting educated. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
It
Well,
is
well, very
incredible.
good. All right. Well, I'm proud of you. And now let's do a pivot into teaching our audience something. You've got a new book
Yes.
that's coming out in the next couple of months or so. And the book is called The New
The
Home
new
Construction
home construction
Advantage.
advantage.
And it's
Yes.
geared towards realtors to
Yes.
work better with us, with home builders.
Yes.
So what inspired it? And give us some tips from it. And then we'll
Thank
switch it
you.
around to builders working with realtors.
Absolutely, Roland.
Yeah.
Well, what inspired that book was my 23 years of new home sales construction
Right.
experience. Working with
Yeah.
realtors, 90%, I would say 80 to 90% was my ratio working with agents. So almost every sale
That's
that
a
I
lot.
had
Oh, wow.
was with an
Wow.
agent.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
And I realized that the agents were not trained to sell new
No,
construction.
no, right.
Uh, some of them were, but not all of them. And some of them didn't even know. For example, I will get an offer on the phone. Let's say John from a real estate company will say we have this offer, and then he will email me the offer in their contract.
Right,
So
right,
they have no
right.
clue how the new
Sorry. Need to,
home world
yeah,
works. So
right,
because of that, I said if I was in resale in the general brokerage world, I would like to have like a guide, like
right.
a
Oh, I
blueprint.
see. I'm very good.
So the name of the book is The New Home Construction Advantage, and the subtitle is The Real Estate Agent Blueprint for Growing Income Through New Home Sales.
Oh, there we
So,
go. But I didn't have that subtitle. I
yeah,
knew there was something missing in what I read, so that's great.
yeah.
That
So
makes a
it's the
lot more
real,
sense. Yeah, it's a
absolutely the real
blueprint for
estate
them.
agent blueprint. So it's truly a
Wow.
blueprint. It's 18 chapters
Yeah.
where from creating builder rapport
Good.
in the 12 biggest mistake that real agent makes
Okay.
before going into
Just 12? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
those are the 12 top, and then
It's
scripts
about the same one, isn't it? It's always the same one, which is, oh, I got to show them 12 more properties. We have to go when they want to buy a home from you and leave.
I
Do you
know.
address that one?
I
How to
did.
like not be so skittish and actually let the salesperson sell your clients a home?
Yes,
Is that, yeah.
it's in
That's
there.
that's the biggest pet peeve. Sorry.
Yeah. So I actually have this in front of me. The opportunity. So new home sales is the opportunity of the next decade. Right
Right.
now, as you know, because of the market, last year we sold 4.1 million homes, I believe, and because of the interest rates, what agents are saying, buyers agents are saying, is making buyers not move forward.
Right. Some buyers
So
want to keep their homes with their interest rate lower and they don't want to make that
exactly.
move right now. Yeah.
But if
Sort of
you
why
are
now? Yeah.
in the new home sales, some builders are buying those rate down. So
Right. Yeah.
right now is the best time to get it. Well, to be honest, 2021-20 was the best time to buy a home. Now is the second best time.
Right.
Right now is the second best time, because when the interest come down, the prices of the home will go up.
Right. Well, that's why I would contest that it was a good time to buy post-COVID because if new construction, yeah, the rates were low, but prices shot up, inflation happened, delays happened, quality went down the hill, went off the charts, went off the rails or off the cliff or whatever. Quality wasn't there, delays were there, you had bidding wars, and then you sometimes couldn't get your home. You had to have your money returned. It was very stressful towards the second half of that boom that we experienced. Was now the builders are offering great value. They're adding more. They're including more features. They do have incentives. They will buy rates down in many cases, and yet you get a better quality home and go refinance later if you're worried about the rate. But I agree with you. I've been preaching that for a long time now. That now is an ideal time to
It
invest
is
in a brand new.
definitely so.
Yeah, to think differently about it.
Yeah, and I have an action plan in there. So there is kind
Okay,
of a workbook, like what to do to get
nice. I
to
I can't wait
know.
to buy a copy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. We think that'll be on Amazon. What, by the end of the summer?
Yes, July 8th. By July 7th, it should be on Amazon. It will be pre-sale on
Perfect.
June 8th.
Okay, good. All right. Well, we'll probably we'll push this back out to help you with that. So, tips for realtors is great. What about tips for on-site salespeople? I get this question a lot. I try my hardest to answer it, but what can we do on site to improve realtor relations, to sell more homes to realtors? I mean, most builders will have a budget of how many realtors they want.
Right.
But how do we improve the experience with working with realtors?
Like I said before, Roland, you have to make more friends with realtors, and not
Okay.
everybody, right? But the agents that are, but the agents that are producing, because as you may or may not know, 70% of agents didn't sold a home last year.
Right. 70,
70.
70. Yeah, yeah. It's sad, but it doesn't surprise me. It is a hard industry. It has the highest attrition of any industry in the world,
Yes.
being in real estate. But there's no guarantee of anything ever, and then people to drop out. But yeah, so fair enough. So
So,
make friends with the top producers.
and how you do that?
Yes.
Intentionally and from your heart. You don't do it because, let's say Roland is going to give me business. You truly do it the way I did it. I will call the broker in charge of
Okay.
the whatever office that I knew was selling in within 5 mile radius of my neighborhood. So
There
I
we
will
go.
call the broker in charge and ask him or her if anyone have taught them how to sell new construction.
Hmm.
So I will come and teach classes for their agents for free.
Oh, that's very
And with
clever.
that, I did two things. One, I was able to expose all my inventory to them
Right,
and
right.
run payments and run all kind. Actually, I use your calculator
Oh,
to
you do my app?
yes, to
Oh,
run
very
payments.
good.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
So
excellent.
that, and also they will get to know who I am. And I told them, I used to tell them that to use me as a resource when
Right,
it comes into the new construction world. I also
right.
did classes, literally on a class that I used to call Brick and Sticks.
Okay, yeah.
How do we build houses from the ground up, and how we
Yeah.
select homes to go on what lot, and the way of the builder, how we think. So
Right.
they appreciated that. So when they had a buyer that wanted to buy new construction, they would bring them to me first.
Right. There we go. And that's
Yeah,
all you're looking for is that first bite at the apple, right? To bring them
that's right.
in. Yeah, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of debate. Should I be first? Should I be last? You could pass that all day long, but the important thing is that you're top of mind. You're Toma with these people, right? That you've done the hard work. So when they go, new construction, let me call my lady Magda. She's amazing. And whether they buy from you or not, you'll be a resource for them to introduce them to other places if it doesn't work out. So that's so smart. So
But the thing before we change subjects
yeah,
here, it is in the follow up, because you can have an amazing event, whether it's a brokers open, or you can have a presentation with realtors, or
yeah.
a coffee with the broker in charge, and if you don't follow up, you just wasted your
Yeah.
time.
So
You
what does
have
that
to
follow
follow
up
up.
look like? What is how do you follow up after any one of those
So, for
events?
example, if I did a presentation and I mentioned um, materials that I have in the office, the follow up will be bringing the material or sending them an email. So that's
Okay,
how I will capture all the emails. And I
right.
said, I will send you the material when I get back to the office, and I will email
Perfect.
them back. And I will,
Nice.
and then they will go into my newsletter. I had a personal newsletter that I
Right.
wrote every single at the beginning, the first week of every month.
There
And I
we
would
go.
tell
Wow.
them the status of the new construction world. This truly, that's what it was,
Good.
the status of new construction world. So they
Right.
will
Right.
know what communities, and that included my competition. What
Right.
communities came on
Good for
board?
you.
What were the price points? So I kept them informed,
Right.
but more half of the page was all about me and my company, and the other half was all about the competition and what was happening around the area.
Nice. Nice. What was that called? Moving with Magda? Did you have a name of your newsletter or
No, the
something?
newsletter was called the new homes construction world.
There we go. In Charlotte, which is a great and booming market, it always
Yeah.
has maintained a very strong, it's done very well. So excuse me, that's the key. A couple of things that you said. You're very intentional about it. You called the broker. You wanted to make sure they were selling in your area, and you either had them come out to you or you did some educational program with them. But it's the follow up afterwards. You didn't just leave it there. You made sure that you didn't drop off all that information. You had a reason to follow. What I used to do was always have a prize drawing to get their business cards. I would always bring like a hat or something, and then you drop your cards in. And we're talking like a $20 Starbucks or Dunkin' Donut card, just two or three of those to get their info. But I like your idea better. That's great. You were sending them stuff and getting them signed up for your newsletter. At your peak, how many names did you have, and how many realtors do you think you had in your newsletter database that you were sending stuff to?
11,000.
What?
11,000 in my 20 years here.
11,000? Oh,
Yeah.
no wonder you made a fortune. My gosh, that's crazy. That
Yeah.
that's I thought you were going to say maybe 500. And how
No,
long did it take you to cultivate 11,000 realtor names?
that took me about 15 years.
Okay, fair enough. So you kept going at it. You
I
you
kept
you,
on
you
going,
put the
yes,
work
and
in.
people will actually be surprised why a top producer will keep on visiting real estate offices. I said, because nothing is constant. Like,
Right,
you
right.
have to keep on working. You have to keep on cultivating new friendships, like I call it.
Yes.
Because some people leave the business, some
Right.
people, some
Yes. I love
realtors
it.
leave the city, and you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have to keep on continue,
Yeah.
working
Right.
your database and asking if they have friends too to bring them on
Yeah.
board as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I
11,000.
it's hard work. That's and I can see why your boss didn't dare. put other salespeople alongside you when you should have four salespeople or two or three, and it was just you because you just are a workaholic,
Yeah.
and you're right about everything. Everything you've said is exactly what I teach, and I lived somewhat similar life where I was one of 10 salespeople. If I didn't go visit realtors, I couldn't make enough money. There wasn't enough traffic coming in the door. I had to go cultivate extra business. One thing I wanted to ask you your opinion on, because I've done both. I've done group breakfast to whole offices, which is what I did for 10 years in this one place, and would have them come over a different office once a month, and then I would start again next year. But then when I was managing a team in Sarasota, Florida, we were doing those breakfasts, and we realized that our prices were so high that these local realtors didn't really have a lot of buyers. One of them even said, "Hey, Roland, how do I get clients for you?" I was like, "Oh, well, that's why you're here. Give me that burrito back. I want your burrito back." No, I wasted all that money at Panera on you, but they were just being sweet and kind. But then we realized we need to go investigate the top 30, 40 realtors in Sarasota that are selling from 1 million to 5 million. And, that was and that's what we did. We looked at the board of realtors, the sales figures. We figured out, okay, they might have done 10 million, only 8 sales versus 10 million and 50 sales. Wasn't going to be our buyer. So how did you do? What did you decide to do? Was it whole offices or individual people that you felt could be more benefit of you, or both perhaps?
Yes, I did both.
Did you?
So I used to do a one office meeting per month minimum,
There we go.
one
Yeah,
office
minimum. Yep.
minimum. And I will
Right.
have 3 coffees weekly,
Re-
one-on-one to top
really?
producers, 3 coffees with
Wow.
top producers, and I will have 3 dinners with mega producers. So the dinners are reserved
In
only
1 month?
per
Wow.
weekly. This is
Weekly.
weekly. Yes.
Gee. So what? Once a month an office presentation, 3 times a week coffee. Now, if they didn't drink coffee, was tea okay or?
Tea or just it could be also a walk. Some believe it or not, I have agents that said, "I'll meet you at the Greenway and we can take a walk for 30 minutes."
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
Yes,
What is the Greenway? A park?
at the Greenway,
What?
we would take a walk at a
Oh,
park.
oh.
Yes.
And so what time of day? I want to understand
Oh,
what
that
this.
is early in the morning. Roland, mind you, I wake up at 4:45 in the morning.
There's no surprise, and you don't go back to sleep like the rest of us. You actually get out of bed at 4:45.
No, I go to bed at 9 p.m. I have to be at the
Yeah,
sleeping.
no, amazing. All right, so you get up early, and so
Yes.
you'd meet realtors at what time at the Greenway to go exercise with
So
them?
I would probably be walking, already dressed in tennis shoes, and
Yeah,
ready to go to my model around 7:30 or 8 a.m. in the morning.
really.
Yes, so I have
You're
enough
already
time. I will never
right,
sacrifice my office time or my model time. It will be either
right.
before hours or after hours.
I see.
That was truly my personal time, but
So
that's where I make the
mhm.
money. I
But
make
you
the
really
money. Mhm.
no, go ahead.
So I made the money before going to my office. The money was made. So the appointments were
Incredible.
made before that. The meetings were done before that. And people today, I've been having a lot of conversations with vice president of sales. The mentality is so totally different. One vice president of sales told me yesterday that one of her salesperson told her, "Why are you calling me on my day off?"
Yeah, yeah. No, that happens all the time. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, "No."
Well, yeah, but well, no, I agree, but yes, you should make your
So
point, and yeah,
with
you
that
go
being
first.
said, if you are doing things that are extraordinary, you will
Right,
get an extraordinary paycheck. You
right,
will,
right.
and an
Yeah, yeah,
extraordinary result.
right,
So I will have my coffee time will be normally between 7:45 and 8:30, no later than 8:30, but it was go
right.
up to 30 minutes to 45. It was, and
Nice.
also it was a kind of a consulting conversation. Like if
It
they're
was.
having trouble with selling a house, I will give them marketing ideas how to
Oh,
promote
wow.
the
It wasn't
property.
just social. You were actually helping and coaching a little bit with these realtors. And was it the same realtor week after week, or would you have
No,
different
they
realtors?
were different agents. There were different
Wow,
agents. So the if I
incredible.
saw you in January, I intentionally will touch base. Let's say I had coffee with you in January, and I
Right,
will be in touch with you the entire month, right through my
right,
newsletter once a month. And then if I
right.
didn't hear back from you, I will have coffee again in June. And then
Mm,
sometimes those coffees, like I said,
wow.
those coffees turn into dinners because when you start selling 10, 15, 20 houses with me,
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
have some nice dinners with
Well, a
me.
nice dinner is go to a steakhouse or wherever you want to
Yes.
go and get something good. What was I going to talk to you about? So I think a lot of people are reeling. out there in the real world of new home sales when you said you get to the office by no later than 8:30 because most sales offices open at 10.
Yes.
So what prompted you to get there an hour and a half before you had to?
Yeah, well, there's so much to do. I will walk all the inventory or showcase homes, every single one. I need to know exactly the stages, especially make sure that they are pristine, right?
Right, right,
Even if they're under construction, get in touch
right,
with my construction manager daily,
right.
and then I will do my follow up and follow up from the night before, even though I have already texted them. Thank you so much
Right.
for coming
Just to
to my
make sure.
office.
Okay.
I will
Mhm.
do the follow up on the phone via
Right.
voice in the morning before my day started. Because once your day start, if
Right.
people start coming through those doors,
Right.
there's no way you're gonna do the follow up.
Yeah.
You make the
Yeah.
money in the follow up.
Yeah, yeah. I think that whenever I've gone back and actually sold, so I used to be like you, a salesperson for 20 years, and then I was a selling sales manager where I'd help my salespeople on the floor. And what people forget, so then the builders, the owners of the company would try to reach me, not realizing when you're working with a customer, you've lost 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half minimum. But if you're writing an agreement, you've lost 2 or 3 hours of time. So you can't be answering texts and emails. You just have to block the world out. If you're going to make a sale and really give the customer your undivided attention. I was like you was good at focusing on my clients, and so it's very time consuming. You're right. You can't stop and start and do follow up at 2 in the afternoon if clients are coming in because it could be hours with each of those. So I
That's
totally
right.
agree with you. Yeah, I will let it come back. The thing about not calling salespeople, just that one thing on their day off. Of course, if it's about a sale and something important, that's great. I used to get phone calls about something trivial, like why did you put this on an agreement? And it's like that could have waited till tomorrow.
That's right.
If I'm in Florida, we used to work 6 days a week, Saturday and Sunday, of course. So Wednesday was my day to just go to the beach and veg out. And I
Yeah.
might get these calls about something so trivial that could have waited. And I would answer the phone and I wouldn't snap or anything. But if it's important, then of course, then we should be able to be reached. But if it's
No, absolutely. And to go back, and I totally agree with you. You
Yeah, you're
have
going to
time
have
off
some
to recharge.
boundaries, but you have to recharge your batteries. And if it's, I
100%.
wouldn't call somebody on a Sunday morning when they're at church or a Saturday afternoon when they're watching their kids play, baseball. So why, so I want to advocate a little bit for salespeople that, hey,
Agree.
managers,
And this
back off a
COVID, they
little
should
bit.
have been.
If it's really critical, if a sale's not going to close and you need to reach them, then reach them. But if it's just like, where did you put the cookie jar or where did you put the coffee? That could probably wait. Fine.
I
I made
agree,
my,
but
yeah, yeah.
this VP was actually a sell. The
Yeah,
buyer
so that's
had
different.
called the on-site agent 4 times, and
Wow.
the on-site agent didn't answer. That's why the buyer ended up calling the main office, and
Right.
that's what
Yeah,
happened in
yeah.
this
That's
case.
different. That's
Yeah,
understandable. So yeah, so you had a newsletter, 11,000 realtors. You were a true friend to these realtors. You had an office meeting at your place once a month. This is a formula for success. Not everyone's going to implement it, but it sounds very, very disciplined. You had 3 coffee meetings a week, and then you had 3 dinners a week
yes,
as well. Wow. And that you sustained that for how many years?
I did that for 12 years.
Oh, it's wow. That's a lot. It's a lot of work. Well,
And
good.
then I start the dinners that start fading. Actually,
Yeah.
a lot of the social start fading during COVID
Yeah. Okay.
because
Fair enough. But then you
we couldn't really meet.
no, but then
And then
post-COVID boom.
go ahead.
Yeah. No, no. Please, after you.
Yeah, yeah. And then I realized that you don't really need proximity. You really need to be in touch with them. The first
Yes.
meeting has to be in person, especially when you don't know them, to
Sure.
start building rapport. And again, from your heart, it's not that, oh, let me get friends with Roland so he can sell 10 houses for me. No,
Yeah, you're saying okay.
you can't do that because it has to be genuine and
Nice.
truly intentional. I want to help Roland sell 10
Oh,
more homes because
beautiful.
that will change his life. If he sells
Right.
10 more homes with me as a
Yeah.
on agent, his
Yeah.
income will change $150,000 per year. So you got to
Right.
see it
Right.
as a contribution, helping
Right.
the agent,
So yeah, the whole if
not
you're focused more on the mission of helping people and not just what you can get out of it.
that's right.
That's a lovely that's an angle. It's a great angle. It's a great viewpoint. I as a sales trainer, I try to just explain. I'm just your guide. I'm just your coach. I don't want credit. I'm not out there every day. I'm not giving up. I'm no longer a Saturday Sunday guy. You're the one making that sacrifice. How can I help you as a new home salesperson? guiding realtors, that really is phenomenal. You must have been very popular. Did people really want to meet with you and like, oh, we have a Magda coffee invitation, or we're going to go exercise with Magda? I'm feeling so blessed. Was that did the word get
Yes,
out? This will
I am.
sprinkle the fairy dust on your career.
Yeah, I'm very grateful that I have gained the respect from the real
Yeah.
estate community, and
Wow.
I'm
Amazing.
pretty accurate on the. I have studied my craft, and
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
God for
Yeah.
people like you because we have
Um,
conversations,
yeah.
Roland, and I have other coaches, and I have read so many books. So
Right.
people, when they come to me, they come for knowledge. They want me
Right.
to answer questions, and I help
Good.
them. And totally free. I should be charging for all this, but I totally
Well, you are
free.
now. You're consulting now, and you're selling books finally. So you're
Yes,
fulfilling that dream. But yeah, no, you
and
got a
when
lot of
I
wisdom in that brain of yours.
yeah, so when they get the call from me, they go like, I actually met with somebody, vice president of sales from a company today, and he said, I can't believe I'm meeting with you, and
A
so
legend.
it's really it's a good
Uh,
feeling. But again, 20 years in new
yeah,
construction, 23
right.
years total in real estate, working day in and day out with customers, with people, with realtors in the industry, walking my houses every single day, doing what you're supposed to do. It's
Right. Right.
nothing.
Running your
It's
store.
nothing
Yeah.
that nobody else can do. It can
You
be
know what?
replicated.
Yeah, you've helped me a lot, but I have all this stuff in when I do my training, my A to Z training for a couple of days with new builders or my virtual academy. The very first thing I talk about is all the stuff you just talked about. But it's so boring when I say it. I'm just going to say, here's Excia podcast. Watch Magda talk about it. If you don't believe me, you could, if even if you did 30% of what you did and made 300,000 a year, that would be transformative for people's lives and careers. Not everyone's going to, make seven figures right out the gate, but have a look at what you can accomplish if you dedicate yourself to this process and don't just, you've got a long-term vision. You're not a day trader. This is your career. It might take you 3 to 6 months of going for walks at the Greenway or having coffee that you don't really love coffee, but you're going to meet them for drinks anyway to bond with them and be a real friend. Look at what the payoff could be for you at the end of all of this. That authenticity of genuinely caring about people, wanting to help them, and by that they help you as well. So I'm proud of you. We need to wrap up. It has been amazing, as I knew it would be. We've gone a little long. Before we go, any one last piece of advice that you would like to share?
So I wrote a little chapter first before I wrote my whole book in training, but I wrote a chapter that what you said, tienes que creértela. That means you have to believe in yourself. But I wish I could rewrite that. And I will say, you also have to believe that you deserve success. So
Right.
you need to believe in yourself
Sure.
and then seek knowledge. If you don't know, if you know that you don't know, you got to seek knowledge, then
Right.
apply that knowledge, then know that you deserve the success, because sometimes
Wow.
people
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
succeed because they feel that underserving.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to know, if you work hard, there is nothing wrong to say, I made $1 million a year. I'm
No,
one of
it's
the only
incredible.
ones that have made seven-figure income, and as a
Yeah.
foreigner. And look, I have an accent. Nothing has stopped me. It's all mental. So
No, right, because
you lose.
it's easy to make excuses. Well, I can't do it because my accent. I can't do it because whatever my whatever it might be. I don't want to go too far down that path because it can make it worse. But it's just a bunch of excuses, right? Just get over it. Just get up and do it and see what happens.
Get
I
up and
agree.
do it, and in 5 years from today, 5 years are going to pass by. The thing
Yes,
is, what
quickly.
are you going to do with those 5 years? Right, very now, you got to make a decision. Go
Yeah.
for it,
Are
because
you committed?
we
Yeah.
all can be successful.
Yeah, and it's a long term thing. You might have 1 or 2 months that are bumpy. All of a sudden, it starts working. You're like, what's going on? Like what is it that joke about being an overnight success 10 years later or something? It's usually the way you've been grinding it out for years and years. All of a sudden, the road has start. Well, yeah, we'll bring you our clients, but it might have taken years of going out and doing that kind of stuff. By the way,
Absolutely.
one last question. Is your mother around, and did she get to see you become this
Yes.
successful, where you went from, the six of you in one home to being a multimillionaire? Is your mother
Yes. My
she
mom,
has?
she just turned 78 on May
Oh,
6th. So I was with her in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Nice.
And she has seen not only me, but all the other five kids, my five siblings, become
Oh,
successful. I have one of my siblings work at the White House. One
what?
of them is a
Really?
CPA. Yes. I have a
Yeah.
biologist. All of them went to college. I
Oh,
didn't
amazing.
go to college. That's why I'm in sales.
Well, we're salespeople. You know, yeah, we
And
that is our college.
that is our college. But
Yeah,
now look at me writing books,
right.
inspired by people like you, Roland. I think we have
Oh,
to
well,
look at
likewise. It's
we
mutual.
have to look at our role models and
Yeah. Oh,
pay attention because people will show up when you need them the most. And but
right.
then you have to take massive
Right. Right.
action.
We got to
And
pay attention and show some courage like you did. What did your mom say to your brother?
yes, there is no time to be afraid.
Right. On
And
that
right
note,
now we are in that time. There is
yeah.
no time to be afraid. You have to stand tall, go for it. I know that it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but
Right.
you have to continue
Right.
going for
Right.
what your goal is, and don't let
Right.
anybody steal that dream from you.
No, no, it's tough, and they are, you know, they. I think if sometimes people get overexcited and make these wild claims that you do this and every time you're successful. No, it's just not how life is not like that. You can do everything right and not get the reward of the sale. But if you have the right process, the right mindset, the right dedication, over time you will overcome these obstacles. You will be successful. So don't give up too early. Just keep going at it.
It took me 13 years before I made my first million. 13
Well,
years in new home sales.
is that
So,
right? Well,
you
your
go,
first million in 1 year or first million over those 14 years?
no, the first 1 million in 1 year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. You might be selling your whole career, everybody, and not get to 1 million in 1 year, but you'll certainly do very, very well and may well make a lot more money than people that went to, you know, college for years and years if you dedicate yourself the way Magda has to our profession. So I'm very proud of you. I love you dearly, and thank you very much for being a guest on my podcast. And hopefully
Thank you
your
so
words
much.
will cascade out and inspire many, many other people to follow in your footsteps.
Thank you, Roland.
All right, take care.
Excia, Excia.